video showing you the benefits of methanol injection on your Honda, or any car for that matter, but in this case we're going to be doing it on my EG hatch. This is the same hatch I've used in previous videos, namely the one on how to turbo your Honda over the weekend. Those of you that have seen this is that same motor, same setup. 2 years ago it made 450 at the wheels. The turbo is relatively small. It's only an S256. And it's a pump gas tune. So 450 at the wheels, around 20 PSI. And I was tickled pink with that. That was my goal. If you remember watching that video, you see I did the dyno at the end of the video, and that was exactly what we were shooting for, around 450. So what I've done now is I want to show you guys how methanol can help you increase horsepower, especially if you live in an area where E85 isn't readily available, and of course race gas is very expensive. Methanol, especially when you run pure straight methanol like I always do, you can basically turn your pump gas into race gas on demand. So what I've done is I've gone ahead and used the stock washer fluid bottle, and then up inside the fender well behind the plastic I mounted the pump. I ran the wiring inside according to the instruction manual. Every methanol kit will come with its own instructions. I've used several over the years, and you know, I don't usually plug companies very much and give them credit in my videos, but I'm going to go ahead and say that this company here is top notch. This is Alky Control, and it's a amazing product, hands down. Anyway, so what we've done is I've installed the methanol kit. Here you can see the nozzle. They even use steel braided lines instead of plastic lines. So the nozzle's installed right there. I've gone ahead and converted my boost controller to one of my version 2s. So this allows me to switch between 2 different boost settings for pump gas and methanol. And then what I've done that's pretty slick is I've tied a sensor in the pump that tells when methanol is actually being pumped, and if the tank goes empty and methanol stops being pumped, the sensor detects it. I've tied that into the computer in the car, the ECU on Neptune, and I've tied the boost controller into the ECU. So whenever I turn the methanol kit on, and whenever the pump starts to spray, which is set to come on around 10 pounds of boost, it automatically switches to the pump, or from the pump gas tune to the methanol tune in real time. I don't have to do anything. It just switches right over to the new timing, to the new air fuel, to the new fueling, and then the boost controller switches at the same time too, and switches to the newer high boost levels. This is pretty cool because if my tank runs empty, or I get an error or glitch in the system and that sensor detects that methanol stopped flowing, it automatically reverts back to the pump gas tune and boost setting. Or if I just leave the methanol kit off, it'll run the pump gas boost and tune. So it's pretty neat, slick setup. I'm going to show you the dyno comparisons with this kit here. Very simple one. You got an LED that I put here that tells me when my tank gets just below half on methanol, and this LED here will go from when you first start initiating the kit, it'll turn red, and as soon as the pump detects that there is flow and indeed methanol in there, it turns green. So not only do I have the ability to take that key out, not only do I have the ability to switch between pump gas and methanol tune using that sensor, I also have a visual aid. If I see this go red, I know that I've either ran out of methanol, which this one should have been on 2 to tell me that long before, or that there's an error in the system and I've lost spray, because it requires at least 50 psi of back pressure in the pump for that to turn. Down here's the little remote controller. This has an on indicator and various levels of how hard you want it to spray. When I was dyno tuned, we had it right around 5.5, and I since have turned it up to 6 just to richen me up a little more to help make it last, because as you guys know in this video on how to turbo your Honda over the weekend, this is a stock sleeve, stock bore block, and she's making good power now, and I don't want to risk splitting the sleeves if I can help it. And then there's a test button and whatnot. So there's another part of the controller. It's a big handheld thing, and it's mounted up underneath the dash with the rest of the wire, and you can't see that. So I'm not going to show you how to install a methanol kit. That's pointless. Every kit comes with its own instructions, and they're all uniquely different. But So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to show you the before and after on the dyno. What kind of gains you can gain off of just simply installing a good methanol kit. We can get into debates what constitutes a good kit. To me, a good kit is one that does have the ability and can run straight methanol, not a water methanol mix like most people have to use. Companies out there like AEM, Snow, Performance, those guys all recommend a 50-50 mix, but that's because their pumps aren't designed to be able to handle the pure alcohol. Alcohol can be kind of caustic to substances and materials, and if the pump isn't made out of extremely top-notch components, the alcohol can drastically shorten its lifespan. Even with these top-notch companies, even though they have extended life compared to cheap companies, it still shortens it. So I'm probably going to get about 2 to 3 years out of this pump, they claim, with straight methanol, where I'd probably got 4 to 5 with water mix. Okay, so that's it for this walk around. Now to show you the dyno videos. First up will be the before video. We're going to be curious to see this car has been beat on for almost 2 years, and it made 450 at the wheels. So we're going to put it back on the dyno and see what it actually does, and hopefully it hasn't lost too much horsepower over the time, because that would indicate that the motor's losing some ring seal and getting unhealthy, and that's never a good thing. So I'm thinking it probably might be down a couple horsepower, maybe 10 or so, but we'll see. Alright, so that's it. We'll show you that next. Alright, this is the non-methanol tune, the base tune for the last 2 years on the car. Then we'll be able to compare and see what we gain with the methanol. Wow. 450. Exact same thing we made 2 years ago. Wow. Okay, so non-methanol, 450 wheel horse. 20 pounds of boost, right? 20 pounds of boost. This will be with methanol. The methanol tune pool. $516 wheel horse. How many pounds of boost was that? Peaking 24 pounds, falling down to 21.